Hey Cougar fans, Carter Gledhill with a playoff edition of Men's Basketball Coaches Weekly with head coach Steve Kollar. Coach, you had a bye in the opening round of the NACC Conference Tournament, so second round matchup against Edgewood College Wednesday night at 7 p.m. How is the team looking forward to or feeling about this game?
Yeah, feeling great. Practices have been really good, film sessions have been really good, the energy's up. We're ready to go, but we'll be ready whenever that is. But the guys are excited for the opportunity for sure.
And you talk about the guys are excited. I could see it on all of your faces in the locker room after your game against Rockford where you clinched the #1 seed in the tournament. Has there been a different kind of focus and energy going into practice this week knowing it is postseason basketball?
I don't know if there's been different. I mean, we've pretty much been playing postseason basketball since probably St. Norbert's and Lutheran, and obviously the Rockford game was to officially get it done. So I think credit to our guys, that's been at that level for a little while now. I think it just, what we've talked about is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody's done to this point because it just has to be the better team that night. It doesn't matter if you won the league, if you were last, everybody has an even playing field. So there's just a little bit more kind of survive and advance mentality, but we just continue to work on the things that we need to work on, we can control.
And one of the biggest themes for you throughout the season, your team, is we, not so much me. And you mentioned it in your post-game speech that you gave to the team after you clinched the #1 seed. By the way, electric speech. And you said in that nobody outside of our locker room had anything to do with what we could do on a daily basis, and kind of reflective of being ranked 10th in the preseason poll. And now you are the #1 team going into the conference tournament. How is it for you as a coach to make sure that each day these guys are getting better, but also focusing on controlling what they can control each day?
Yeah, it's just our focus all the time. It's not hard to do. It's a hard thing to do, but it's what we talk about on a daily basis. It's embedded in our culture. And when we are talking about it as coaches and then the players start taking ownership of it and they're the ones that are talking about it every day, you're starting to get it done. So it really was just about the guys that are in the room. It started a little bit different, but we say 22 strong, control what we can control and be in the best that we can be on that day. That's really all it comes down to.
And you always were mentioning it too throughout the season, Trine University, Illinois Wesleyan, even the games all the way at the beginning at Colorado College, and talking about how every game that has been close or you've fallen just short has been a learning opportunity. How do you feel your team is ready to go in the postseason now that it's going to be close battles throughout the way because everybody, as you said, is do or die and survive to the next round?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we've done in the last couple of games is we've closed games out, whether that's really good possessions, that's getting stops. MSOE one was a little bit choppy for a little while, but that's been kind of where some of the biggest growth has been, where we didn't close those games out earlier in the year. Now we are able to close those out, whether it's making free throws or, like I said, coming up with timely stops. That's what you have to be able to be really good at, especially in postseason play.
Well, against Wednesday night, now you're taking on Edgewood College, and they have one of the best players in the conference on their team, the big man in the middle, Jake Schreckenthaler, who is averaging 21 points a game. He is also second in the conference in shooting percentage and also leading the conference with almost 11 rebounds a game. What is the game plan in order to control the big man? And you did fairly well the last time you guys had him and you hosted him here, but he has been scoring double-digit points throughout the season, and it's been a hard task to stop him for any team.
Yeah, he's been a beast. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's pretty skilled. He can move his feet for as big as he is. And, they have two of the three best players statistically in the league. And then those other guys, they make plays as well. You don't get that to this point where you just have one or two guys. They all contribute in their own way. But Jake is he's tough. He's a physically imposing guy to finish. There's not really anybody else like him in the league. Without getting rid of all our secrets, we've got some things, that we're going to have to attack him. We just got to make it difficult. Like with any really good players, you just have to make them earn it. If you let them get to their spots and they're in a comfort zone, then they're going to control you. But we just got to make sure he earns it every single possession.
And you mentioned that they have two of the three best players, Eli Hartjes as well, as he is averaging just under 20 points a game. But after that, the Eagles have no double-digit scores besides those top two. So now focusing on those two guys, what is the mindset when you understand you have those two guys, but you can't let the other three get out of control?
Right, absolutely. Well, it's defending as a unit, having specific game plan things for maybe those one or two guys, but then understanding what those other guys do well and what they maybe don't do well, and trying to force them to become that, right? If they're shooters, making them drivers. If there's drivers, making them make contested threes. That just kind of goes along with what we do game plan wise, game in, game out, is we try to take away what teams do at their best and as their strengths and force us to beat us, with what we perceive as maybe one of their weaknesses.
Well, this is going to be the first home playoff game for the Cougars since they last won the conference in 2012, and Geisman's going to be rocking. A lot of hype has already been built up. But for you, talking to your team and going into the pregame, what's going to be your message in order to not only achieve and win at home, but just to go out there and compete?
Yeah, just be ready right from the start. We don't need to do anything but be us, and that's what's gotten us to this point. And it's just winning the glass, winning the turnover battle. And we've talked about this before. We kind of boil it down to the fours. So we want to win that first four, win the first four first, and then continue to build on that going forward. But there's going to be a lot of energy. There's going to be a lot of enthusiasm. We just need to go out and do what we do on a daily basis, and we live with the results from there.
Well, best of luck to you in the second round of the NACC Tournament as the Cougars host the Edgewood College Eagles. It'll be a maroon out in Geisman Gymnasium, so be sure you're in Geisman wearing maroon at 7 p.m. to cheer on your #1 seed Cougars. Coach Kollar, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, Cougar fans. Let's see you next time. Go Cougars.